Hello YouTube, I'm this guy, and I'm going to be bringing you guys a video on Link summoning and Link monsters itself. This video hopefully will help you guys get a better understanding, you new players and returning players coming into the game, about Link monsters itself and why it's here. So to explain the Link monster themselves, they're very useful when trying to summon extra deck monsters from the extra deck, because right now we're limited to only being able to summon one extra deck monster into the extra deck monster zone. And if you're a returning player, they did change the rules now where you can only summon monsters in the main monster zone, which was the monster zones themselves. Now, instead of having 5 monster zones, now we have 6 to our disposal, which I will explain in the demo video that I have provided you guys, so you guys can get a better understanding on how to link summon. But yeah, you got 2 extra deck monster zones now, and one is supposed to be for your opponent, and one is supposed to be for you. No, you can't use both. That'd be kind of broken if you could use both. You can only use one at a time. But you can use both, but you can't use both at once, though, unfortunately. That'd be cool and pretty wicked if we could, but unfortunately we can't, because that's against the rules. We can only use one extra deck monster zone at a time. But when you summon from the extra deck, that's where your monsters go, is on top there in between the markers. Explaining the monsters themselves will be easier by breaking it down what's on these cards. Starting off with what are these arrows. Those arrows are link markers. Those point towards where you can summon your extra deck of monsters when you are able to summon them. So wherever that pointer marker points to, that's where you can actually summon it. If it is in the main monster zone and there's a marker pointing to the left or right, that means you can't summon anything left or right because there's no zones there. But you can link bottom left, and bottom right. And if there's one pointing towards your opponent's zones, your opponent can unfortunately summon from that link monster, whatever marker that's pointing towards. That's why it's not really good to run a lot of those link monsters that point towards your opponent's monster zone, because it gives them the access of summoning from their extra deck now with your link monsters. Now, link is basically what it means. It's links. You basically link one link monster to another to basically make a chain, which is pretty cool. I mean, I like that aspect where now you have to, play basically Tetris on these cards and basically get your pointers towards you and getting your full value of your link monsters. So once you learn the link monsters themselves, what link monsters are out there, which link monsters you can use to your disposal, then you have a very powerful deck. Unfortunately, it does take extra deck space or room, so you are limited now on how many Exceeds monsters, Synchro monsters, and Fusion monsters you will now have in your extra deck. Now they didn't up the extra deck count. You're still at 15, which is kind of low, because now since you have these link monsters now, which you kind of have to use now if you want to summon a lot of extra deck monsters. So you will see that these guys have attack numbers, like Mr. Firewall here. Firewall Dragon. Yeah, he has an attack, but where's the defense on this monster? There's no defense points. Well, that's because these guys are stuck in attack position, and why Konami built this mechanic where these guys are staying in attack position, I don't know. I'm assuming it's because they wanted to, see that these guys don't get really too interrupted. I mean, you still got hand traps at your disposal that can interrupt these link monsters, but it's not like you can now Book of Moon it, or if you have a monster like Construct out there where I can set all your monsters, these guys can't get set because they don't have defense points, so they can't get put in defense position. So that was the main purpose of them making this, was so these guys are stuck in attack position probably, and so they don't get interrupted when you are trying to link summon or whatnot. So what's the reason why I would run these? I mean, if I don't run, if I'm not relying on my extra deck, do I need to run these? No, you really don't. But there's some of these link monsters that are out there that are really good. that you could actually use. So if you find a link monster and you really like that link monster and you're like, well, how do you summon it? I want to know how to summon this strong link monster that I pulled out of a booster. Well, I'm going to show you guys right now a demo on how to link summon, and then I will get back to you guys right after this demo. Alright, now on to the link tutorial on how to link summon. We first have to identify where the extra deck monster zone is. Basically, a lot of people, what they do is they put a identifier card, which we're going to be using the Link Karibo. This guy, he's going to be letting us know where the center of the game is, which is right there. So when you link summon, you put your link monsters or your extra deck monsters, whichever you summon first. You put them in the extra deck monster zone, which is on the right hand side of it and the left hand side of it, right above the zone, monster card zone. So right above this one and right above this one. For this tutorial purposes, we're going to assume that we activated Scapegoat on our opponent's end phase, so it allows us to have 4 tokens when we first start our turn. So what you do is we're going to be summoning a Link Spider. He's going to be the first Link monster we summon, and basically he requires only 1 normal type monster, and it says it right there. Focus. And then you basically take a token. We'll take this guy here, and we're going to put him on the right hand side of the Karibo. So now that's going to be where the Link monster goes. And now we're going to summon the Proxy Dragon, and his is 2 monsters, so we only need 2 monsters. So we're going to use 2 tokens this time. So we'll use these 2. And then since Link Karibo's arrow is pointing down, that means we can put the Proxy Dragon right underneath him. So now if we had a field we were using actually a deck in this tutorial, if we were able to go into 2 extra deck monsters, now we would be able to on the left hand side of it and on the right hand side of it, identified by these red arrows that's on the card. And now for the numbers and why they're important. So if we want to link summon, this guy, Link Spider here, is a 1 right there, if you can see. He's a 1. And then Proxy is a 2. Well, anyways, trust me, he's a 2. So with these 2, we can make a 3. And we're gonna make Deco Talker. And if you look at the bottom there, he's a 3. So 2 plus 1 makes 3. So with these 2 guys here, we can make the Deco Talker. So how you do this is you send these guys to the graveyard, and then you put the Deco Talker on the right hand side, or if you want, the left hand side. Totally up to you how you summon him, where you summon him. But like I said, it's important where you put your monsters or tokens right here. So it's probably not good to put him over here, so we're going to put him on the right hand side. So that's it for the tutorial on how to link summon. Alright, and there you are with your demo on how to link summon. Hopefully everything that I've been telling you up to now has been very helpful. I'm definitely be giving you guys some suggestions on what kind of link monsters you guys can use, just so you guys can get used to the link summoning, and it won't be that difficult to use these guys. Sooner or later, once you guys get the master of link summoning and you see how beneficial link summoning can be, you guys can definitely incorporate better link monsters. So starting off with the one in the demo, Link Spider, he's a really, really good beginner link monster. His restriction is, though, you can only use a normal type monster as his material. So that's why you definitely would want to run like Scapegoats, any token generator cards. If you do incorporate, normal monsters in your deck, then you definitely could just use those guys as materials for link monsters. You don't have to put the tokens, but not a lot of decks can run or does run normal monsters. So definitely recommend Scapegoat if you're going to be running the Link Spider. Another card you could use is Underclock Taker. This guy's really generic as it gets. It only takes 2 effect monsters, and a lot of decks do run effect monsters. That's why he's very generic to me. So Underclock Taker, another good 2-link monster you could run in your deck that can simply just help you learn how to link summon and how to see how good link summoning can be and the link monsters themselves. Another good card to pick up would be the one also in the video, Proxy Dragon. Proxy Dragon is probably the second best generic 2 monster because he's able to bring out more than one extra deck monster because he has pointers that says you can do 2 like this way, left and right, which means left and right can be extra deck monsters. They don't have to be main monsters that you run in your main deck. So Proxy Dragon's a really good like monster to pick up if you're just starting off in the game and you're trying to get the understanding and get used to link summons. The next card, also in the video, Deco Talker. He takes 3 materials to summon him, 2 plus effect monsters. So they do have to be effect monsters just like Underclock Taker, but as I say with Underclock Taker, you run a lot of effect monsters in your deck anyway, so it's pretty generic. 3 generic, as I say. So Deco Talker, really good card. Another card that's good in your deck that you could run is Tri-Gate Wizard. Tri-Gate Wizard is probably one of the better link monsters in the game at the moment. A lot of meta decks are running Tri-Gate Wizard because of how good it is, being able to negate a card if he's Code Link 3. If you don't know what Code Link means, that means like his markers that he's pointing to has a link monster in them. If they do, then he's co-linked with a link monster, which means he gets his effects. It's real easy if you build your deck around link summoning, but he's definitely a card that you can learn off of, learn how good link monsters can be, and if you master Tri-Gate Wizard and how to get Tri-Gate Wizard's effects effectively, then you basically have just mastered link summoning. Another good card is Telepic Bomber Dragon. Telepic Bomber Dragon is a really good link monster. He does have a very costly, unfortunately, effect, which is if a monster gets summoned in his link markers, he blows up the field. Granted, that's why he has the name Bomber Dragon. He bombs the field. Kapooey. But he's a really good monster, though. He's a really good beater. He can blow up the board if need be on your turn. So I would definitely recommend Bomber Dragon. Definitely wouldn't use him if you relied on your monsters. But if you want to get better at this game, I definitely would run him and see where his effect can be useful. I will leave that to you guys. And you guys have some fun with these cards I just mentioned. Incorporate in your deck, and hopefully you guys become a link master. That's it for this video here. If you guys loved what I did, and this video is very helpful, please hit that like button. Also, leave a comment below and tell me what you guys think. Do you guys are interested in using links, or are you guys just not satisfied with them, and you guys refuse to use them? A lot of people are like that, by the way, so don't feel so bad if you are. I'm not. I love the link monster mechanic itself, so I enjoy it. And as always, subscribe to my channel so you guys can get more helpful tips on Yu-Gi-Oh! And also hit that notification bell so you guys get notified every time I upload a useful video like this one. I will talk to you guys all later, and I will see you guys at my next video. Alright, talk to you guys later.